Hey, it's good to see you. Thanks for letting me come over. I promise, this is as important as my message said. Let me just get it set up here. Yeah, I brought my laptop. I need to show you something. Just give me a moment. Okay, perfect. Take a seat on the couch for me. You can see the screen from there, right? Great. Well, let's begin. Thank you for coming here today. There's an important... What? Okay, yes, technically this is your apartment and you didn't come here, but this is what you say to start a presentation. Yes, that's what's happening right now. It's why I'm holding this clicker. Anyway, we have a lot to get through, so can I begin? Great. So, thank you for coming here today. There's an important topic we need to discuss. This brief 58-slide presentation will cover everything in detail. Please hold your questions until the end of the presentation. There's a Q&A section, as well as an optional survey where you can provide feedback on my communication skills. It's very important that we don't deviate from the agenda. Okay, slide number 1. Please look at this photo of the two of us. Tell me, do you remember when this photo was taken? That's correct. It was on the beach trip last August. You were paddling about when I came into the sea and started splashing you. Then Kylie took this photo. Do you notice anything about our faces? Yes, they are very wet with seawater, but that's not what I was referring to. I mean, about the expressions. Can you see how happy we both look? You're right. That was a great day, but I'm talking about something deeper than just fun at the beach. Next slide. Let's get right to the point. This is a presentation covering the many reasons that we should start dating, as you can see from this title page. Note the love hearts around the title. Yeah, I know this is a shock for you. We've never talked about anything like this before, have we? This is why I included a 10-second pause at this point in the presentation to allow you to emotionally process what's happening. Please look at this calming image of puppies while you relax for the allotted 10 seconds. Ready to continue? Great. Let's start with part 1, the background. We've been friends for approximately 3.5 years now. Since our initial meeting, our friendship has gone through various different phases. Please look at the graph displayed on the screen. As you can see, our connection has had ups and downs throughout the years. There have been high points, such as the vacation we went on together, and low points, such as the time you got that awful bowl-cut haircut and I had to avoid being seen with you for a while. However, when you examine the data closely, you will notice that our friendship status has never dropped below 60%. We've maintained a consistently strong camaraderie even in the most trying of times, like the bowl-cut haircut incident. Here, you can see a list of the strongest attributes of our friendship, sorted from most to least important. At the top is obviously how much we care about each other, and the emotional connection we share. In second place is your talent for being a good listener, followed by my talent for being a great yapper. There are various other items such as similar interests, shared values, etc. Here you can see a list of the biggest potential threats to our friendship. Obviously, the top spot is taken by a future terrible haircuts you could receive, which would unfortunately be a deal breaker for me. Numbers 2 through 8 cover potential scenarios where you can make dramatic lifestyle changes, such as investing all your money into a failed cryptocurrency and trying to steal my plasma for rent money, joining a cult, becoming an MMA fighter and practicing your moves on me, and of course becoming a drug runner for a cartel. So this slide covers the various secrets we know about each other that nobody else does. You'll see I've noted down that pop song you always sing along to when you think you're alone, as well as the Reddit account you use to argue with strangers on the internet about bionicles, and the fact that you always ask me to order that fruity cocktail you like in bars, then drink it yourself. On my part, I've listed the time a bird pooped on me and you saw, as well as my habit of stealing spoons from various restaurants, and finally the occasion where I faked a French accent on a first date, then had to actually learn French and construct an elaborate backstory for myself after I started dating the guy. Once again, thank you for going along with my lie. And screw you for telling him that I was born in a beret factory and forcing me to include that in my story. This brings us to part 2, why we should date. Here you can see a list of the primary reasons why I want to go from being friends to something more. Let me explain each one. First, I've written face. This refers to your face, obviously. I like it. I think I always have, really. Even when it has that annoying smirk after you've Googled some random fact we've been arguing about and I was wrong. Which, to be clear, happens very rarely as I'm always correct. The second reason is body. Look, I can see the blush already forming on your face, so I won't torture you by going into extreme detail. I like your build, and I want to touch it sometimes. Not in a weird way, just... Okay, yes, in a weird way, but not only in a weird way. You have the perfect frame for hugging, and your forearms... Wow, dude. Too detailed? Well, too bad, I've got more to say. Remember when you helped me move last summer? Seeing you carry all those heavy boxes down the stairs, muscles rippling, a light sheen of sweat over your glowing skin? I mean, damn! I considered canceling the contract on my new apartment just so I'd get to watch you carry all the boxes back upstairs again. Fine, I'll stop if you really can't take anymore, although I bet you secretly enjoy hearing me talk about this. I'll move on to the third reason, kindness. You have always been nice to me, even when I'm technically not being nice to you, like teasing you about your haircut or forcing you to sing karaoke with me. There have been so many times over the years where I've called you or come over to your apartment at 3 a.m. crying because of some stupid crisis, and you always let me ramble, then say exactly the right thing to make me feel better. You never even complain about how late it is, although I have caught you yawning occasionally. You're just a fundamentally good person, and that's the kind of guy I want to spend my life with. I know you well enough to trust you completely, and I always feel safe with you. And stop looking at your shoes when I'm complimenting you. I want to be able to gaze into your eyes as I tell you how important you are to me, not have to stare at your forehead. The final point is pretty self-explanatory. Puts up with my shit. Look, I like teasing people. A lot. Some would go as far to say maybe too much, but I don't listen to those people. You never get mad at me, though, even when I signed you up to become a monk in Italy. I saw you've gotten another letter from them when you let me inside, so sorry about that. Maybe you should start learning Latin. Here you can see what I want from you. Nothing too demanding, as I thought we should start slow. 1 date a week for the next 4 weeks. We'll alternate on who picks the venue. It can be anywhere except the aquarium, as I don't like the octopus there. It stares at me like it wants to break out of the tank and strangle me. We've discussed this. I also want to exchange good morning texts every day before 9 a.m., and I want at least 3 selfies from you each week. Also, I'll be sleeping over here regularly, starting after our second date. You're free to come to any conclusion you like about that. As I had predicted, you're blushing even harder now. That's why this slide is here to give you a moment to recover. Please look at this photo of an iceberg to help cool down. Ready to keep going? Great! So now we need to cover what you'll get out of our relationship. The next few slides are some of my best selfies. I'll just let you admire them as I click through these. Okay. Wow, I put in a lot more selfies than I remember. Let's keep going. Isn't that one great? You know, I found that jacket at Goodwill. It fits perfectly, right? And with those earrings, too. Shall we just pause here for a while? Fine, I'll keep it moving if you insist. I noticed you didn't ask me to skip to the next slide when I paused on the bikini selfie earlier, though. And we're through. So our final section is titled Part 3, The Future. I've spent a long time thinking about you. I'm talking years here. I kept sneaking glances at you when we hang out together, and finding my thoughts turning to you late at night. I don't want to just be friends anymore. I want something so much deeper. In a moment, I'm going to ask you whether you want to go out with me. Here's what will happen if you say no. I'll play it off like I'm cool, but then I'll sprint out of here at top speed. Then I'll realize I forgot my laptop and come back in, and I'll ask you one more time just to be sure. When you say no again, I'll sprint out again, this time with my laptop. It'll probably be awkward for a week or two, then we'll ease back into our usual dynamic. However, if you say yes... You can see I've edited that photo of us on the beach to add love hearts and rose petals. You may also note I've added an octopus lurking in the background to spread awareness of how evil they are. We have finally reached the Q&A section before the final slide. Ask away. I'm sure you have questions. When did I start feeling this way about you? Pretty early, actually. I thought about asking you out before, but we had such a good connection as friends I didn't want to ruin it. But my feelings for you just grew and grew until I couldn't take it anymore. If you want to know the specific moment, it was at Megan's birthday party a few months after we first met. I was pretty wasted and you noticed. You sat me down, got me some water, and made sure someone could take me home when I was ready to go. I still remember the way you helped me zip up my jacket as I was leaving. It felt nice being cared for like that. Why did I choose to tell you this in the form of a PowerPoint presentation? I don't know. It just seemed the most efficient way to convey all the information. And the most fun. I bought this clicker especially for this, by the way. No more questions? Fine. I guess it's time for the final slide. So, the all-important question. Do you want to go out with me? Before you answer, please take a moment to appreciate that fancy animation I put on the question mark. It took me 20 minutes to add that. You do? For real? You're not just saying that? Oh my God, come here! Wow. Wow. I'm just so happy you said yes. I was so nervous during this presentation. I nearly dropped the clicker because of how sweaty my hands were. There's no time like the present for a first date. I made a dinner reservation at that restaurant you like. By the way, if you had said no, I would have gone there alone and eaten 25 plates of mozzarella sticks while sobbing. So this is definitely the best case scenario for both of us. Let's get out of here. You've got to hold my hand on the way there, though. I forgot to put that in the presentation. One last thing, baby. I'm seriously not kidding when I say don't ever take me to that aquarium. If you try and organize a date there, I'm bringing the harpoon gun.